Okay, I almost forgot the mic. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. For some of you, I am an hour late. For some of you, I'm right on time. Of course, it's daylight savings time. Yesterday, we fell back. That's how you remember what to do with your clock if you have a clock that you have to adjust yourself. That doesn't automatically adjust like your phone or your computer. So we say you fall back in the fall and you spring forward in the spring. So we fell back, we gained an hour, so that was an hour more sleep for me. It's very strange though, not all the world does it. Parts of the world do daylight savings time, but not all parts. I'm not sure what countries actually participate. It's supposed to increase after work daylight hours, especially in summer, so people have more time to shop. It's good for business. People have more time for outdoor activities. It's strange though. Not even every state in the United States has daylight savings time. Only some of the states, so it must get very confusing. All right, but thank you for your patience. Everybody, so many people hung around, and so many new people are joining us. Maybe for some of you, this is a good opportunity. Maybe this time works better for you. Maybe for some of you, like Steve, you're staying up a little later. Thank you for staying up a little later. We're going to be talking about grammar today, so maybe it'll help you fall asleep a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. I just kid grammar. Grammar's exciting. It's not boring. Okay. Are you ready to get started, everybody? Ready to get started? Okay. There's the lesson. And of course, for those of you who are new, I add links to the class notes, and I shared the class notes in the chat room, and I'll share it one more time. There it is again. If you're on your laptop, you can click that and follow along. I always include these links in my class notes. If you want more information about these live classes, please email Zach. If you are interested in becoming a subscribing student, you can click on this link. A subscription will give you access to the Smrt curriculum, and that's the curriculum I use on these lessons. And there's a ton of lessons and exercises. There's a lot of exercises. During these videos, I'm not able to get to all the lessons. But on Smrt, you will have access to all the lessons. It's a huge resource. What else? You'll get some homework, and then I'll comment and look at the homework, and you'll also get quizzes, and then at the end you'll get a certificate. And there are 4 classes. There's pre-intermediate with Nicole, intermediate with Mark, upper intermediate with me, and English for academic purposes with Josh. So you can follow that link and look there. If you want to see the school where I actually work in the United States, that's this link. It's the Spokane College of English Language. So if you're just curious, go ahead and take a look at that. And then we have a Facebook group, and I know a lot of you are members already. But if you're not members, go ahead and look at that, and you can join that Facebook group. And then you probably all know our channel on YouTube. That's probably what brought you here. But if you're just here for a live class and you haven't seen our entire archive, we keep a library of all our old videos. So you can always go back and look again. Okay, my name is Neal Hallgarth. I know that's kind of difficult. Oh, maybe I'll add something to that. As you know, most people with an English name also have a middle name. My full name is Neal Edwin Hallgarth. We don't really use our middle name for much. It's just like extra. It's like an extra little name. It's kind of weird. Okay. You ready to get started? Well, if we have any confusing vocabulary that comes up, I'll add it here. So if you have any questions about any words or anything I say, I'll make sure to include it in the class notes. For now, I'm going to use the grammar presentation, and it'll be here in the background behind me. Present results, present results. So when we use present perfect or present continuous, we're talking about a past action that has a present result. It's something that was done in the past, but it affects us now. It affects us still in the present. It has meaning in the present. It's important in the present. The verbs or actions happen in the past, and their results are felt now. Their results are experienced now. Their results are seen now. Let's look at some examples. You've lost a lot of weight. You have lost a lot of weight. And of course, that's the contraction for you have. You can take the auxiliary word have and you can combine it with the subject before, just with an apostrophe, and it'll end in the VE. You've lost a lot of weight. That means now you're thinner, you're smaller. She's got a new car. She has got a new car. She's got a new car. So now she can drive her car. She can give you a ride. She's got a new car. I've been on a diet. I have been on a diet. Starting in the past until now. So I'm still on a diet. I'm eating different food. I'm eating healthier, hopefully. We've been painting our living room. So we have been painting, there's the continuous, we've, and then the word been, painting our living room. We're not done yet. We're still in the process of doing it. The continuous, where you use ing at the end of your verb, the continuous shows that it's a longer action. It takes duration. It might be a repeated action. But here, painting probably not repeated. It's probably just a longer action. It's going to take us a longer time. There's going to be some duration issues there. And then the class has been studying present perfect. And that's true for all of us now here. The class has been studying present perfect. And we're not done yet. There's actually one more lesson to get to. So after this one, on Wednesday, we'll have one more on present perfect simple, and present perfect continuous. Okay, in this meaning, the simple is used to focus on completed action. So even if they have an impact on the present, the action that was done in the past is complete. We don't have to do it anymore. It's done. The continuous is used to focus on repeated activities over a period of time. Repeated activities over a period of time. And sometimes a longer action that takes a longer time to do. Let's take a look. Here's a couple examples. He has bought a coffee. He's bought a coffee. He has been buying so many things. Okay, look at the difference here. He's bought a coffee. That action of buying is complete. It's done. He doesn't have to buy it again. He doesn't have to go up and give them more money. That action is complete. If I say he's been buying so many things, that's a repeated action. Lately, like in the last week, he's been buying more things. He's been purchasing a lot of things. So he has bought a coffee and he's been buying so many things. This one, that action of buying the coffee, done. He has the coffee now. He has the coffee now. So he can drink it. So it does affect the present. But that buying only happened one time. If I use it in the continuous, he has been buying so many things. He keeps on buying things. All the week he's been buying things. Melinda, you're late, but if you're just joining us, we're talking about present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Let's look at the next example. She's got something. She's got something. So she got it in the past. She brought it into her possession. She owns it now. She's got something. So now she actually has the object. She's been getting things for the party next week. So again, this continuous indicates that maybe in the last week, the last month, slowly she's been acquiring, taking new items, slowly collecting them. And she's not done yet. She's not done with this process. She will continue to get more things for the party. More examples. The best way to see how all of this works, of course, is to look at examples. They have gone to the store. They have gone to the store. They have been going to the store a lot lately. Okay, this first one, remember, if it's present perfect simple, where you just have the auxiliary have, and then you have verb 3, gone. They have gone to the store. They're there. They're either at the store or they went to the store and came back. That was a one-time action of going to the store, and it is complete. It is done. Let's look at the second one. They have been going to the store a lot lately. This is a repeated action. They are continually going to the store. They're continually going to the store. And remember, if you have any questions so far in the chat room, remember you can ask those questions. He has driven here. He doesn't need to drive here again. He's already here. He's done. The driving part's done. He has been driving here every day. This has been his repeated action lately, probably his habit. Obviously every day, probably his habit. He has been driving here every day. Certain verbs indicate very short actions. Because of this, they're usually used in the simple. Let's take a look at more examples. I have cut my finger. I have cut my finger. If you cut your finger, like if you're chopping vegetables, usually you're not taking the knife and sawing into your finger, right? It's not something you do a lot. Just one time, quick, then you're done. That action is complete. Now you're bleeding. Now you need a Band-Aid in the present. But in the past, I've cut my finger. Not a long action. Not a long action. Next one. We've decided to take a trip to Spain. We've decided to take a trip to Spain. So that was a one-time decision. Usually you don't have to sit around and think a lot. Sometimes decisions can take longer and it's more of a process. But once you've made that decision, you can just use it in the present perfect simple. We have decided to take a trip to Spain. It's done. The decision is done. It has stopped raining. It doesn't take a long time for it to stop raining. The rain will get less. It will drizzle, which is a lighter kind of rain, and then it's done. It's done. Class hasn't finished yet. Class hasn't finished yet. Finish is also a short action. Doesn't take long. The minute class is done, that's when it finishes. For example, this class will finish at 8:30. That's Pacific Standard Time. It'll finish in about 45 minutes, but when it does, it doesn't take a long time for it to finish. And then finally, we haven't fixed the door. We haven't fixed the door. Once we fix it, it'll be done. So usually when you have something that indicates a short action, you use in the present perfect simple. But of course, having said that, You can use short verbs in the continuous. If you do so, it has to make sense in the sentence. It has to make sense with the words you use. Let's take a look. He's been cutting wood for the fire. Now that's something you can repeat because it takes a long time to chop wood, to take an axe and cut down wood. So here in cutting, unlike the finger, like you can't repeatedly cut your finger or cut your fingers. At least you shouldn't. That's dangerous and it'll hurt a lot. But wood you can cut a lot. He has been cutting wood for the fire. That can be written in the continuous. She's been deciding many things for the company. So her job is to decide things, to make decisions. So she continually has to make decisions, but new decisions. These will continually be new decisions. And the last one, I have been quitting smoking for a long time. This is unusual. Usually quit is a short action, a one-time thing. Once you quit, you quit. This indicates that this person is struggling with quitting smoking. They'll quit, then they'll start smoking again, then they'll quit again, then they'll start smoking again, and then quit again, and etc., etc. A repeated action. I have been quitting smoking for a long time. And they haven't quite got it yet. They haven't done the big quit yet. Okay, let's look at next. In general, the use of the simple suggests a complete action, like we said. The use of the continuous suggests a possibly incomplete action. So look at these sentences. Are we looking at completion or duration? And actually, they're going to give you the answer. I asked, but they're going to give you the answer. So let's look at these examples. I'm quite tired because we have been painting the bedroom. We have been painting the bedroom. And let me pop out so you can see that bottom one. My sandwich is half gone. Someone has been eating it. My sandwich is half gone. Someone has been eating it. So the first, well, actually both of these focus on duration. With that present perfect continuous, we're looking at duration, the length of the action. And both of these actions are not quite done. In the first one, there's more bedroom to paint. We haven't painted all the walls and ceiling. In the second one, there's still sandwich to be eaten. Somebody ate half of it, but there's still some sandwich left. Okay, so Rosa, you have a question. Present perfect can only be used for duration. It can be, can't be only used for duration. It can talk about experiences too. Yeah, we can use it to talk about experiences. Like if I said, I have been to California. I still remember that experience, fresh in my head. So we can use, I think last time we talked a little bit about it being used for experience. Here, this lesson, we're focusing on kind of long action, short action. The present result is something complete or is something going on for a long time. Let's look at more examples. My computer is working again. I have fixed it. So focus on completion. In the present, the computer is working again. Why? Why is the computer working again? I have fixed it. But that action of it being fixed is done, and it is the reason the computer is working again. Second sentence, wow, your bedroom is a different color. Surely you have painted it. And this is a focus on completion. Surely you have painted it. The whole bedroom now is complete. It's a different color. All the paint has been applied to the walls. So that action of it being painted is complete. I see some of you have been having a little technical difficulties here. That's but it looks like it's working again. Is it working again? It looks like it's working again. Okay, that's the lesson, which means we do have time to work on some exercises about present perfect simple or present perfect continuous. Sometimes both may be possible on these sentences. Again, I'll share the link one more time. There's the link to these class notes. I'll have these questions up in the background. Maybe we'll do about 3 or 4 at a time. And of course, always let me know if these are big enough to see in the background. So the first one, I can't find my diary. I think I've lost it. Now this one would just be present perfect simple and not present perfect continuous. You would not want to get in the habit of losing your diary again and again. So you would not say, I think I have been losing it. I think I've lost it is the answer to that one. By the way, that reminds me, I'll add something to the vocabulary now. If you use this, I think I have been losing it, or I'm losing it. This means I feel like I'm going crazy. My mind is going away. If you ever use this in the continuous, I think I have been losing it or I'm losing it. It's kind of a idiomatic or a slang way to say I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing it. So be careful in using that in the continuous. Okay. Hopefully the technical difficulties are cleared up for most of you. Hopefully you can see these in the background. B, C, D, and E. Oh yeah, so in these class notes, anytime I share this link, if you're on a laptop, you can click open that link and you can go and find the class notes. Then when you get to the class notes, you can go to File here and you can click on Make a Copy. When you make a copy, it will add that copy to your Google Drive and you can write in it then. You can write in it in your Google Drive. If you can't access right now, I'll put the first 4 answers up here in the background and you can write your answers in the chat, as I see some people are already doing. So let me put on the thinking music, the exercise music. I'll be right back. Okay, it looks like we've got a lot of right answers already. So we'll cover these and then we'll look at some more. Okay, this first one, maybe I'll make a copy myself. So I'll go to make a copy. Make a copy. Always make a copy when you want to write in these documents. So there's my copy. Let me go down. Okay. He is not in trouble anymore because he, and remember with he, use has, because use has with he, she, and it. He has disproved the scandal. He is not in trouble anymore. Anymore means the trouble's done, it's complete, so we wouldn't use continuous. He doesn't need to disprove anything more. He has cleared his name. He has gone above the scandal. He's okay now. He is not in trouble anymore because he has disproved the scandal. Let's look at C. C. I don't think she's staying at Bill's anymore. She has been staying at Janet's. And this is a big clue that we need the continuous, because the first one says, I don't think she's staying at Bill's anymore. She's been staying at Janet's. And we don't need that little thing right there. We don't need that extra apostrophe. She has been staying at Janet's indicates that this is just temporary. She will find another place to stay, another place to live, but for right now, she has been staying at Janet's. This one, have you heard about the new law passed by Congress? Of course, if we have a question, we should start with have. Have you heard about the new law passed by Congress? This one is just present perfect simple. The law has already been passed, and the person is just asking, in the past, did you hear? Did you hear about this new law? Let's look at this one. This one is continuous, though. I have been hearing so many bad things in the news about the regime lately. This word here is your clue that it needs to be continuous. We have the word lately, which means, in the past few days or the past few months, I have been hearing, and we also have a lot of things, so many bad things in the news about the regime lately. So this is something that's been repeated in the news, and there's many bad things that have been reported. So we would use continuous. I have been hearing. Okay, there's a question. Vivek, you have a question? I have decided so Vivek's asking about the Nepal trip. I'm trying to remember what we talked about last time concerning the Nepal trip. If we're using this grammar, it might just be something like this, Vivek. I have decided to go to Nepal. If we're using this grammar, I would say just use present perfect simple. If you want to use the continuous, I think you would use the continuous for the indeterminate. Been decided. When you're still thinking about it, when you're still thinking about the process of where to go, you would say something like this. I have been deciding where to go next in the world. I have decided to go to Nepal. Present perfect continuous for the longer process, and then present perfect simple for when you've actually decided. So I hope that answers your question. Anyway, let me know. I'm going to put a new set up on the screen there. hopefully you can see that. This will be F through I, and I'm going to try to get that whole thing up there. This will be F through I. Okay. As though we're just working on the exercise on present perfect simple and present perfect continuous right now. Let's do the next form. Is this grammar important for the TOEFL? This grammar, I think, is important for any standardized tests. Present perfect simple and present perfect continuous will be something you will see a lot of. Okay. Work on these next 4. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. So I see again a lot of good answers. Let's go over the answers. And then I saw that there was a question. I believe Rosa and Steve brought up a really good question. So let's answer these 4, and then I'll attempt to answer a question here. Okay. So let's look at F, G, H, and I. I'm sorry, our kitchen is so messy. Now, usually fix is just a very short action, but if the kitchen is still messy, this might be an indication that we've been fixing the refrigerator. Maybe we're not done. Maybe there are parts of the refrigerator still on the ground. Maybe our tools are still lying around. Maybe there's food we took out of the refrigerator, and that's all over the kitchen. If you said we have fixed the refrigerator, that's possible, but it's a very narrow time frame. So if you walk into somebody's kitchen and you see it's very messy, it's so messy, and you say, and the people say, we have fixed the refrigerator, you got there right when they finished. The kitchen's still messy, but the refrigerator is fixed. So both are possible, but this one, if you use the present perfect simple, it's for a very, very narrow time frame between when they finished fixing the refrigerator, it's done, the refrigerator works again, and before they cleaned up their mess. If that makes any sense. Okay, let's look at G. We have been looking for. This one has to be present perfect continuous because they haven't found the ideal place yet. So that means they're still looking. They haven't found the ideal place yet. They haven't found the place they want to move into yet. So we've been looking for a nice apartment around the city, but haven't found the ideal place yet. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at H. She has been at the casino all week. She's definitely developed some kind of compulsive disorder. So if she has been at the casino all week, that means the compulsive disorder has already been developed. Okay, maybe I think we've talked about, oddly enough, I think we've talked about compulsive disorders before. But that's an interesting set of words, so let me put that in the vocabulary. A compulsive disorder is when a person cannot stop an action. And I think a lot of you came up, and this was a couple weeks ago now, came up with the synonym addiction. Compulsive disorder, when somebody can't stop an action. Let's look at I. This old painting still looks new. Someone has really... Now this is the first one I would say that both answers make a lot of sense. Someone has really preserved it well because the painting still looks new. And so we can say that's a completed action. We can still enjoy the painting like it's new. But if it's a very old painting, maybe the act of preserving it is taking a while. Someone has really been preserving it well for a long time now, for a long time. Sometimes with an old piece of art, you have to continue to preserve it to make it look very, very nice. So both, I would say, both present perfect simple and present perfect continuous make a lot of sense here. Yeah, Steve, compulsive disorder is like OCD. OCD. In fact, it's part of OCD, which stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. Obsessive compulsive disorder. So there was a question. So if you just joined class, the topic today is present perfect simple and present perfect continuous to talk about duration or a repeated action and completion or a short action. So kind of a difference between short and long actions. Okay, the question is here, decide is a state verb, and usually we don't use state verbs in the continuous. And that's true. However, I guess this would be informal. So in formal English, yes. In informal English, we happen to use state verbs in the continuous all the time. So it would not be unusual to hear somebody say, I have been deciding where to go next in the world. So formal English do not use state verbs in the continuous. Informal English, state verbs are used in the continuous all the time. So if I ever show an example like this, I guess I'm showing how informal I am a lot of the times. I think maybe even a lot of people in academics get into this bad informal habit of using state verbs in the continuous. I've said before, like a word like love, you shouldn't be, like the McDonald's commercial, I am loving it. Obviously this is wrong, but we use it in the continuous all the time. I have been loving this song a lot lately. You'll hear somebody say something like this, and even though it's wrong, grammatically it's incorrect, the meaning is very clear, and I think that's why we use it so often in informal English, why often you see state verbs in the continuous is because it makes sense. It makes sense. The meaning is very, very clear, even though the grammar is incorrect. So Rosa and Steve, you're right. You should not use state verbs in the continuous. However, in informal English, meaning usually spoken English, obviously, and English you speak with your friends or you speak with people you meet in every day, when you're walking around and shopping, it is very common to hear state verbs used in the continuous form. And even I have that bad habit. Even as an English teacher, I have the terrible habit of using state verbs in the continuous. So let's call it a difference. Let's call it a difference between formal and informal English. However, it is super common. It's very, very common in informal English to hear state verbs used in the continuous. With ing. By continuous, I mean this ing form. Okay, hopefully, Rosa, that answers your question. How about another set? We'll work on the last three. Let's look at J, K, and L. What do you think for J, K, and L? I'll let you think about it. Put on the thinking music. I'll be right back. Okay, let's look at the answers now to these ones. So, my Facebook account looks a little strange. I think someone has, and I see some different answers here. This one is a good one where it can be both. I think someone has messed with it. I think someone has been messing with it. I think both make a lot of sense. My Facebook account looks a little strange. I think someone has messed with it in the past, and they're done. They're done messing with it. They did it one time. But maybe it's something that's been going on for a while. I think someone has been messing with it, and maybe they'll continue to mess with it. I'm not sure. It's kind of an unknown. I don't even know who's doing it. So I would say for this one, both answers are correct. I'm sorry I'm late. This one's weird. I have been getting coffee. This one has to be continuous. This is a little hard to explain. Why not got? Why not just I have got coffee? If I have got coffee, that action is completed. It means now I have coffee, but it doesn't really explain why the person is late. It doesn't really explain why the person is late. I have been getting coffee indicates that it's having an effect on the time now. I'm sorry I'm late. I have been getting coffee. That's my explanation for why I have been late. So you have to relate these two actions, and the continuous is better to relate those two actions. The lateness and the getting of the coffee. Yeah, this one's weird. That one's weird. I have been getting coffee. This one, only one answer. I've been coming here a lot because it's so beautiful and has lots of nature. This is your indication here, a lot. It has to be continuous because we use the word a lot. So that one, can we say I was getting a coffee? Yeah, we haven't been talking about past continuous, but you could, Diary, you could use past simple or past continuous and just say I was getting a coffee. That's possible. This one here, if I were to hear this, especially at work, I have been getting coffee, it sounds like this person is getting a coffee for everybody. They collected the money, or it's their treat, coffee's on them for everybody. They have been going after and getting coffee for a lot of people. It's okay if you're trying this and you're not 100%, you make mistakes on some of these. It's okay. It's okay because this is just practice. These exercises are just for practice to get better. And some of them, like this one especially, K, feels almost idiomatic or extremely situational. To me, at least, it seems very, very situational. And if a lot of you guessed, I have got coffee, if I was learning English, that would probably be my guess too. Just simply, I have got coffee. But this one, we have to relate two separate actions. The action of being late with the action of coffee. And the continuous is better for that. I think the continuous is a better way to talk about why you are late or why something has been off schedule. Okay, let's look at a few more. We have time for a few more. Lots of exercises today. Okay, you have to choose between present perfect simple or continuous for the green parts. So you're going to have to rewrite these green parts. So if we look at the first one, why are you late? I'm late because I have been waiting in line to use the bathroom. And of course, you don't have to write the whole thing. You can just write, I have been waiting in line. So like before, like the getting the coffee, if you want to explain why you're late, if you want to come up with an excuse, use this present perfect continuous. Yes, good, Rosa. If you use this continuous, it means the process of getting a coffee, or here the process of waiting, takes time. It is the duration of the action. Because the duration of the action was so long, that's why I am late. Hi, Alejandro. If you're joining us, you're just joining us at the very end. Okay, look up on the screen. I have B, C, D, E, and F. So think about these ones. I'll be right back as you answer these last few. Okay, let's look at the answers to this one. B should just be, I have caught a cold. I have caught a cold. You don't have to keep catching it. It's not a repeated action. Once you get it, once you get sick, you're sick. It just happens one time. Just, I have caught a cold. Because mine has broke down. Why aren't you using your computer? Because mine has broke down. I guess broke. Mine has broken down. Should use verb 3, the past participle. Mine has broken down. Usually that's just a one-time thing. You might hear some people actually say, mine has been breaking down. This is not quite right, but it indicates that slowly the computer is losing its functions one by one. It's losing its ability to work one by one. But this one is probably much better. I would suggest that one. We have been painting. We have been painting. That's why we're covered in paint. We're looking at the duration, that long action of painting a house or a room. And if it's that longer action, of course you're going to be covered in paint. That will get you covered in paint. Why do you have a headache? Because I have been listening to loud music. I have been listening to loud music. A longer action, and that's how you get the headache. You listen to it for quite a while, you get the headache after a while. Finally, why can't you see? Because I have forgotten my glasses at home. You just need to forget them once. It's not a continuous action of forgetting them. Okay, that's it for present perfect, simple, and continuous. Until next time, until Wednesday. We'll practice more next time. For the subscribing students, and I'll email this to you as well, please do these exercises on the Smrt curriculum. Media 5.1, net neutrality exercise, and Media 5.3, the social media revolution exercise. There's 2 videos to watch and listen to, and then short exercises. The exercises after them are short. So it's a listening exercise. Okay, for everybody else, I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me this morning. Sorry for the 1 hour daylight savings time difference. Hopefully we'll all adjust, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Until next time. All right, have a fantastic next couple of days, everybody, and I'll see you real soon. Keep on studying, keep on practicing your English, keep on being excellent. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.